Beneath the scorching sands of Giza lies a mystery that still unsettles archaeologists. The reign of Pharaoh Khafre, builder of the second-largest pyramid at Giza, and the face believed to adorn the Great Sphinx, produced achievements that seem impossible for the ancient world. How did his builders carve statues from stones quarried hundreds of miles away? Why do tunnels appear to run beneath the Sphinx itself? And what happened to the advanced knowledge his reign seems to represent? This is the story of Khafre's impossible vision, and why it terrifies archaeologists to this day. The first clue that something was deeply wrong with our understanding of Khafre's reign came in the 19th century. Archaeologists excavating his valley temple uncovered a seated statue unlike anything they expected. It wasn't carved from the local limestone of Giza, or even the granite Egyptians often used for royal monuments. Instead, it was made from diorite, one of the hardest stones known, far more difficult to shape than granite, and incredibly rare. The effect is stunning. A dark, almost glowing figure that seems to radiate power. But here's the problem. Diorite doesn't exist anywhere near Giza. The closest quarries are hundreds of miles away, deep in the harsh deserts of Nubia. Transporting a multi-ton block across that distance through one of the most unforgiving environments on Earth would be a challenge even today. And yet, 4,500 years ago, Khafre's builders not only found this stone, but carved it into one of the most flawless statues in history. The logistics alone would baffle modern construction companies. So how did they do it? And what else were they capable of? Khafre ruled Egypt during the 4th dynasty, at the absolute height of the Old Kingdom. His pyramid still towers over the Giza Plateau, second only to his father Khufu's Great Pyramid. But archaeologists now believe his true ambitions went far beyond a single monument. Excavations show his reign oversaw an industrial-scale operation. Not just one statue, but hundreds, carved from exotic stones sourced from across Egypt and beyond. This would have required advanced logistics, supply chains, and planning that rival modern project management. Even more unsettling is the precision of his construction. The Valley Temple is built from enormous granite blocks, each weighing dozens of tons, fitted so precisely that even today a sheet of paper can't slip between them. No mortar, no modern cranes, just stones that have held their place for 4,500 years. Archaeologists studying the site realized something disturbing. Khafre's builders had knowledge, resources, and organizational skills that simply shouldn't have existed in his time. And the more they searched for answers, the stranger the story became. Following the trail of Khafre's diorite statue led archaeologists into one of the most hostile environments on Earth. Deep in the Nubian desert, hundreds of miles from Giza, they discovered quarry sites that revealed something astonishing. Scattered across the sand lay half-cut blocks, tool marks etched into their surfaces. Pottery fragments bearing Khafre's name proved organized teams once lived and worked here. But how? There is no natural water source. Temperatures soar above 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and sandstorms can erase entire camps in a single night. Yet evidence shows Khafre's workers didn't just survive, they thrived. Archaeologists found remnants of permanent structures, engineered shelters, storage pits, and even burials for workers, complete with grave goods and rituals. This wasn't a temporary expedition. It was a long-term industrial operation in the middle of nowhere. The implication is staggering. Khafre commanded a logistical network capable of sustaining hundreds of workers for years in one of the harshest places on Earth. But that was only part of the mystery. Among the ruins, archaeologists found something stranger still. Stone ramps carved directly into the desert floor, running for miles. But these ramps didn't match anything they expected. Instead of wide tracks for sledges, they contained narrow parallel grooves, cut with precision and consistency over long distances. Traditional theories of Egyptian transport, wooden sledges dragged by massive teams of workers, simply don't fit here. Were these grooves meant for specialized vehicles? Rollers? Some unknown transport method that required fewer workers than the giant labor forces shown in tomb paintings? The ramps even connect to staging areas where blocks were shaped to exact specifications before transport, as if Khafre's engineers had mapped out every step long before the stones reached Giza. The level of foresight, measurement, and quality control rivals modern engineering. And the ramps didn't just lead across land. They aligned with seasonal waterways that could carry blocks to the Nile, evidence of a sophisticated, integrated transport system combining land and water routes with uncanny precision. But here's what truly unsettles archaeologists. Khafre's team appears to have timed their operations to the environment with impossible accuracy. Climate research shows that 4,500 years ago, the Sahara wasn't quite the desert we know today. During certain wet phases, seasonal rivers and lakes appeared, opening narrow windows of opportunity for transport. Evidence suggests Khafre's planners predicted these cycles and scheduled quarrying to match them. Wells were dug with exact geological knowledge, tapping into shallow groundwater. Floodwaters from the Nile were channeled to float massive stones at precisely the right time of year. This wasn't luck. It was planning around climate patterns that required years of foresight, something historians didn't believe ancient civilizations could do. The knowledge seems to vanish after Khafre's reign, leaving a chilling possibility. His builders understood environmental systems in ways that were later lost. And then there's the Sphinx. Most scholars agree the face bears Khafre's likeness, but beneath the monument, new scans reveal anomalous voids, hollow spaces suggesting hidden chambers and passageways. 19th century reports even mention explorers finding a tunnel entrance, later sealed and never officially documented. Modern ground-penetrating radar confirms there are unexplored cavities beneath the Sphinx, possibly connecting to Khafre's pyramid complex. If true, this means the visible monuments of Giza may only be the surface of a far larger, integrated underground system, one requiring geological and engineering knowledge that shouldn't have existed 4,500 years ago. In the end, what terrifies archaeologists isn't the supernatural, it's the implications. Khafre's reign suggests that ancient Egypt once possessed advanced knowledge of engineering, logistics, and environmental planning that disappeared without a trace. Statues carved from impossible stone, ramps and transport systems no one can explain, quarry operations that rival modern industry, underground chambers still waiting to be uncovered. If such capabilities could exist, flourish, and then vanish completely, what does that mean for our understanding of history? Civilization may not progress in a straight line. Instead, it may rise in peaks of brilliance, like Khafre's reign, before collapsing into silence. And so, Khafre's legacy endures, not only in the monuments that still tower over Giza, but in the haunting questions they leave behind. What knowledge have we lost? What secrets remain buried beneath the sands? And could it happen again?